Hi everyone, welcome back. This lesson will focus specifically on fundamental analysis. Here's an overview of the lesson. So this particular lesson will serve as an introduction to fundamental analysis, and within that we'll have a breakdown of the different aspects of fundamental analysis, including what project metrics are and what to look out for, how to read and analyze white papers, how to understand and analyze on-chain metrics, and much more. We'll also talk about how to apply fundamental analysis to your trading and crypto research. So let's start off with what is fundamental analysis. So fundamental analysis is a method of analyzing an asset or business to find its intrinsic value or its true value. The goal, or the main idea behind fundamental analysis, is to determine whether or not the asset is overvalued or undervalued based on a number of factors beyond price analysis. So it's more than what's happening on the candlestick chart. It's actually looking into the actual project itself, not just the chart, whether that's an equity chart, you're looking at certain stocks, or you're looking at cryptocurrencies, or other types of investments. We're actually looking at the company or looking at the crypto project and taking a look at the actual setup and the structure of it and determining value based on that alone, not necessarily speculation. So in traditional financial markets, fundamental analysis factors in business metrics such as earnings per share, which is the profit a company makes for each outstanding share, and also the price to book ratio. This is the value investors have for the company versus its book value. Now these are pertaining to traditional equity markets. We'll take a look at some of those because those have been around for decades, if not hundreds of years, and that's where crypto fundamental analysis is based off of, and then takes some detours. So in this particular situation, analysts may compare several companies in a specific market or a sector based on these fundamental aspects to see how their possible investment would stand in relation to others, right? We're comparing different companies or different assets that are within a certain market or within a certain sector. So maybe you're looking at certain tech companies, or maybe you're looking at growth stocks, maybe you're looking at all the companies that provide streaming services, right? There's a lot of different aspects to think about, and this also applies to crypto as well. We'll get more into that in the next few slides. So just to further reiterate the breakdown and the differences between fundamental analysis and technical analysis. So fundamental analysis, we're looking at the company itself, we're analyzing the industry, certain macroeconomic conditions, and future profit outlooks, or maybe certain earnings reports, or overall earnings received or general revenue for the project or for the company. And this is really what makes up fundamental analysis. Now, technical analysis, which we've covered in many other sections of our lessons, this focuses on moving averages, indicators and oscillators, and the actual price chart itself. All right, so taking those concepts, now let's turn to turning this or diverting this into crypto fundamental analysis. So while traditional methods of fundamental analysis may work well for traditional markets, crypto networks and crypto markets projects, these provide challenges to fundamental analysts trying to find intrinsic value in them. There aren't necessarily specific earnings reports or similar systems that we can use to compare one another like we can with traditional equities. Now, many would consider Bitcoin more similar to a commodity than compared to a company due to its decentralized nature and other traits, right? We think of Bitcoin, we think of digital gold in a sense, the level of scarcity, it's the supply mechanisms of it. It's really a payment network, more so than an actual company itself with earnings reports and CEOs and whatnot. Now, due to this and the inherent differences between crypto and analyzing a company, different criteria must be used to determine fundamental value. Metrics that cannot be easily falsified are also important to consider as well. One thing to take note of is social media. It's very easy to falsify social media followings or to grow fan bases or followings or have lots of hype around a project that isn't necessarily a reliable metric or a reliable indication of a company or a project, because it's easy to create fake accounts or use bots to falsify interaction. So this is something to keep in mind, and we'll have a separate section on social media metrics to take note of as well pertaining to crypto. Now, in the following sections of the trading course, we'll discuss these categories of cryptocurrency fundamental analysis. And this is a bit of a breakdown of what makes up this overarching theme and a different way of researching and analyzing crypto. We'll take a look at project metrics. We'll take a look at on-chain metrics, financial metrics, partnerships and investments, regulations and laws, and social metrics.